Right then, guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, then please do me a favor. Click the like button, subscribe, and leave your comments in the section below. So, finally, Joseph Parker gets the opportunity to have a title shot. Now, this is great news for Joseph Parker and his team because the WBO have ordered Oleksandr Usyk to face Joseph Parker because Joseph Parker is the interim WBO champion after beating Martin Bakole in Saudi Arabia a few weeks ago. Now, look, this is great news. A lot of boxing fans, especially shout out to you guys in my comment section saying, basically arguing that Joseph Parker deserves his shot. And I agree with you guys. Joseph Parker has been on an incredible run and deserves a title shot. That fight between Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois, that didn't happen because Dubois was sick. It was a fight that Daniel Dubois and Frank Warren should have done the honorable thing and really, rescheduled that fight because Joseph Parker deserved a title shot. And the fact that Frank Warren and Usyk's team are having a conversation and discussing and negotiating about, having an undisputed fight when Joseph Parker was the one that is meant to be facing Daniel Dubois because that fight did not happen, tells you all you need to know about boxing politics and promoters basically, going for the fight that makes the most money rather than giving fighters the well-deserved shot. In this instance, Joseph Parker definitely deserves that shot against Daniel Dubois because that fight didn't happen. But shout out to the WBO. They are doing the right thing. They are, basically telling Usyk, you're our champion. You need to fight the interim champion, which is your mandatory. And, without sanctioning bodies doing that, promoters and fighters who have belts will be able to do whatever they want, really. So, once again, props to the WBO for saying Usyk needs to fight Joseph Parker. And basically what happens in this instance is that both fighters have 30 days to negotiate and maybe engage in a purse bid, which gives any promoter the opportunity to bid higher, to be able to stage the fight, put the fight on wherever they want it to be. So look, interesting news. And I'm sure a lot of Joseph Parker fans will be really, really happy. Look, it is well deserved. As I said, if you look at Joseph Parker's run, it is incredible. I mean, if I'm actually looking at Joseph Parker's box rec right now, when he fought Simon Keane, he had the opportunity to fight Deontay Wilder after that. Now, I remember that Deontay Wilder fight. I was thinking, although Deontay Wilder was coming off of a loss, right, Tyson Fury loss, and really not being himself, I thought that Deontay Wilder still got power in his hands. Although I thought Joseph Parker is a much better fighter than Deontay Wilder. But we all know that Deontay Wilder has that right hand that he can detonate at any time. So I thought that fight was 50-50. Joseph Parker got in there and made Deontay Wilder look like a novice. Joseph Parker got in there and made Deontay Wilder look like he's never been in a ring before. The movement, the changing of the height, the head movement, and Deontay Wilder didn't know what to do. And Joseph Parker, really stepped his game up. And Deontay Wilder didn't win a round in that fight. In that fight, Deontay Wilder was not able to win one round. And then in the Zhilei Zhang fight, Joseph Parker was down twice. We know Zhilei Zhang hits really hard. A southpaw, he's very tricky. He hasn't got the engine to go all 12 rounds, Zhilei Zhang. But whilst he's in the fight, and the fight, being fought at the pace that he wants it, which is what the earlier rounds between Zhang and Parker was going, when he dropped Parker twice. And of course, Joseph Parker then flipped the script, changed his game plan, started moving properly, started countering, the straight right hand down the pipe, and really had success in that fight against Zhilei Zhang. And that, if you look back at those two wins, Deontay Wilder, Zhilei Zhang, that is absolutely incredible. And those were, for the WBO interim heavyweight titles that he was fighting for in those fights. And then, just recently against Martin Bakole, where, of course, as you guys know, Daniel Dubois then got sick in Saudi. He was declared unfit, and then Martin Bakole had to step in 24 hours, and Joseph Parker made easy work of Martin Bakole. Now, granted, Martin Bakole was not exactly, match fit, right? He wasn't in training camp, he wasn't ready, but you can only fight who's in front of you, and Joseph Parker made easy work of a dangerous Martin Bakole. So Joseph Parker is definitely deserved of his title shot. Now, the problem is Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois' team are currently in negotiation to make that undisputed fight. And I remember yesterday I made a video talking about the fact that they are looking to put this fight on at Wembley in London. So now, look, we've seen this before where even mandatories have been called, fights have not happened because promoters and fighters that are holding belts are able to, find their way around it and really have a different fight to what, sanction bodies have, ordered to happen. In this case, WBO is saying that Usyk has to defend his belt against Joseph Parker. So I am not very positive about this, guys. I'll be honest with you guys. And get in the comment section and let me know what you think about this. I'm not really positive about this because I think that Frank Warren, for some reason, is going to get the Usyk fight happen. Instead of making, or allowing Usyk to fight Parker and Daniel Dubois to fight maybe Joshua or somebody else, Frank Warren is going to find a way for Daniel Dubois to fight Usyk. And that is the sad thing about this situation. Now, you may have a different opinion to me. Put in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. If you agree with me, let me know as well. But I just feel like, Joseph Parker deserves his title shot. Like, he really deserves it. He's worked so hard. He's beaten some really good fighters. He's worked his way all the way up to become interim champion. And he deserves his title shot. But I think the Usyk versus Dubois fight at Wembley makes a lot of money, and as we know in boxing, guys, money talks. And I just feel like they are gonna try and freeze Joseph Parker out, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? It's disgusting, but unfortunately they're gonna try and do this because they won that Dubois versus Usyk fight, which is really, really, really unfortunate for Joseph Parker because he deserves his shot. He is an incredible fighter, and he's put himself in a position where he can earn a lot of money and take care of his family, but also have the opportunity to fight for the heavyweight champion for the second time, because Joseph Parker will actually make history. If he was to fight Usyk and beat Usyk, he becomes a 2-time heavyweight champion. And that is something that he's worked so hard. Him and his team have worked so hard to get here. So look, I hope that my pessimism is turned into optimism, where Joseph Parker, for some reason, gets to fight Usyk for the WBO Championship because he deserves that. But as I said, I'm very pessimistic about this. I think that boxing politics is going to win here, and Usyk versus Dubois is going to be made rather, which is unfortunate. But you guys get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Joseph Parker being, the mandatory, and the WBO asking Usyk, basically ordering him to fight Joseph Parker. What do you think about it? Do you think Parker deserves it? Do you think, or would you rather see the undisputed fight between Dubois and Usyk before Parker gets his shot? Or do you think Frank Warren and Dubois should have, rescheduled that fight against Parker? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave your comments in the section below.